What's up? What's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the Football Frame of Mind podcast, man. We are live, man. How you doing?
We're doing good, man. How we doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Happy to be doing this, man. First live on the network, man. But you bring us in, man. Bring us in. Start us off, man.
Not a problem, man. So if you can't see the names on the screen, I'm Brandon. He's Cam. This is the Football Frame of Mind podcast brought to you by courtesy of College Football Dogs, Pro Football Dogs, Dogs TV, man. Definitely a great group of guys, brother. If you guys love football content, college football content, definitely check these guys out, man. And we got a really good podcast today, man. We're going to be discussing some NFL stuff, top five all-time NFL logos, man. I think it's going to be a really good one.
Oh man, yeah, dog. It's gonna be great, man. I'm interested to see who you got on your list, man. I'm interested, man. So should be interested, man. But before we get started, man, let's talk about some news, man. Let's talk about some news, man. So um the news that is important is Jared Goff, man. Let's start with
Mm-hmm.
him, man. Let's start with him. Jared Goff signed a new extension with the Lions. And I want to get your take on this, man, because this is a massive extinction. It's extinction. Extension. It's a massive
Mm-hmm.
one. It's a massive one. We're
hmm
talking about an extinction. We're trying to get rid of Jared Goff, right? No,
Apparently so.
no. We're not trying to do that now. But uh, massive payday for Jared Goff, man. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this. And then I have my rebuttal, but I'm interested to hear what you guys say.
So I knew this was coming. I didn't expect it to be in the dollar amount and year extension that we got. But dude, I've been saying this since last season. Me and you have been talking about this. Jared Goff deserves his flowers. Okay, like he got a bad rep for what happened in LA. They didn't end up winning at all. They didn't feel like he lived up to that number one spot. That's why they ended up making that trade for Stafford, all that kind of stuff. Dude, since he's touched base in Detroit, bro, he's up it to another level. He's upped his tier to another level, his quarterback play to another level. He's developed as a leader, as a passer, man. He has embraced Detroit, and Detroit has embraced him. And these last, what, 3 seasons or so, you've seen his play just gradually grasp upper and upper and upper. And last year, man, made it to the NFC Championship game, minus some maybe bad calls like from the head coach. Like Detroit could have been in the Super Bowl this last year, and Jared Goff is one of those reasons, man. He showed that he's got ice in his veins. He can put the ball wherever he needs to put it. He's a really good leader, especially in the locker room. I think he deserves this extension. I think he's proven himself. The first extension he got from his rookie deal, I wasn't really sure about, but this one, he's definitely deserved it. And I really look forward to seeing what they can do going forward, man, because all they've done has gotten better in the offseason. They've definitely improved in the secondary. They're still really good on offense, improved on defense. I think Detroit's gonna be a viable threat, and I think it was really smart of them to lock him up and don't even question where he's gonna be for the next 4 or 5 years.
Hey, I can't argue with that, man. I personally think that you need a a franchise quarterback. Okay,
hmm
like it's the most expensive, it's the most important position out there, man. You know, so if you don't have one, you messing up, in my opinion. So what this extension means to me is that he's the guy. They're not looking for another guy. They're not drafting
hmm
another guy. He's the guy that they're going to build around for the next few years. So it's important. It's important to do that. Now, my second question is, what does this mean for the market? Now I'll start with this one. Okay. So there's a few guys that are up for extensions after this, right?
hmm
So with Lamar Jackson, Kirk Cousins, all getting some money this offseason, it's important to realize what kind of market is gonna happen next, right? So I'm thinking that this is gonna set people like Tua up for a massive payday. This is going to set Jordan Love for a massive payday. Even Trevor Lawrence,
Justin
I think.
Herbert.
Yeah, there you go. No, Justin Herbert's good. He already signed a big one. He
Oh,
signed a
he
big one.
did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
he's
right. I
good.
missed
He's
that. I
good.
forgot.
He already collected checks. So, but as
Yep,
far
that's
as
true.
I want to say Trevor Lawrence is up, Tua's up, Jordan Love is up, and I think Dak Prescott is up too. I think
Yeah,
so.
but that's kind of still a touchy. I don't know. That's kind of a up in the air one, in my opinion. We could
Yeah,
discuss
it
this,
is. It is.
but
But at the
this
same
definitely
time,
affects the market, though. Yeah.
yeah, it does a little bit, just a little bit. Like I said, I
hmm
don't think I think Tua has an argument, but his injury history, there's gonna be a tight battle between
I think
them
it
as
depends on
far
his
as
play
dollars.
this year, though. I think it depends on if he stays healthy this year. Also, how far does Miami go in the playoffs? Because they made it to the playoffs last year and got the brakes beat off of them in the first game they had. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think it's going to come down to quarterback play and then a team overall and health for sure.
Hey, shout out to the Rating the Air podcast, man. Hey, glad to have you watching, man.
You can
You
enjoy.
know, as a Green Bay Packers fan, I love golf. Good luck keeping the team intact. Hey, man, look,
Never know.
yeah, they have to sign a quarterback. One thing that
hmm
has hurt Detroit for a long time, man, is the quarterback play. Whether it be management up top or drafting four receivers in the first round 4 straight years, they've always been in a situation where it just never works.
Yeah.
So finally they got good management, they got a good head coach, and they got a good quarterback and a good team. So that's hey, they got a perfect
They're
storm
in a good
to
situation.
get a championship. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what they need. That's what they need.
I think they
They
did the right
need
thing.
yeah, I agree. I agree. So I ain't arguing with you. I think it was a good move, because if he got in free agency, there's no telling
Oh,
what.
dude, he's getting a Kirk Cousins contract. I promise you.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed. There's no doubt in
Yep.
my mind. He's getting a
I
deal like
agree.
that.
I agree because if you think about it, he was gonna get a lot of money because of how his play was.
hmm
His play has exceeded expectations. Exceeded
Agreed.
expectations.
By far.
Especially considering that he got traded, and then the team he got traded from won a championship.
Yeah, well, everybody thought Detroit was going to be the loser of that trade because obviously, like you said, LA turned around and won Super Bowl. But now we're looking at bigger picture here. Yeah, LA won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. They're trying to stay relevant right now. You just lost your biggest player on defense and what God knows how long in Aaron Donald. Now Detroit is building, and they're looking forward to being a perennial powerhouse in the NFC and possible Super Bowl contender year in and year out. So, I mean, I think they definitely won the trade, like big picture. Obviously, short stint, yeah, LA won a championship, but big picture, I definitely think Detroit won that trade.
Hey man, look, they if they get a championship or a few championships, they won. But
hmm
I don't know. I think if you're talking about the Rams, it's going to be tough for them to rebuild because they used all their draft picks, man. Like
The
they
draft
used,
picks in their cap space isn't that great either.
yeah, But I think they'll get some of it back with
Being
Aaron
that Donald
Donald
retired,
retiring,
yeah.
and
hmm
then they got Ramsey up out of there, and then
hmm
they didn't have to pay Von Miller either.
Nope, now
So
Buffalo's stuck with that big contract.
yo, we ain't even gonna get
That's
into
bad.
that.
That's a whole different kind. Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get into that one. But let's move into this next topic, man. Something I really wanted to get your take on because we talked about it off air um a couple for like hours, man. But I want to get your take on the strength of schedule of the teams. Who you think is gonna be go through that gauntlet to be the most battle tested team in the playoffs, man. So I want to get your thoughts on it, man. So here we go.
Alrighty, let's check it out. Alrighty, so based on strength of schedule, So being top of the list mean your schedule's harder or easier? Just trying to make sure.
Well, we see who got the hardest schedule, right? But I'm
Yeah,
saying
Cleveland.
which team, is gonna make it through that. What you thinking?
If I'm looking at the top teams, mm, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say Green Bay and Houston.
You know what? I was thinking that same thing. I was thinking that same thing. I was thinking my Ravens first. I know we gonna go through it. I don't care who on the list because I'm biased. I'm biased. I don't care. Whatever, right? But I'm also thinking if I'm looking at it real quick, I'm also looking at man, hold up, man. I'm looking at this schedule, bro. Why they got all the AFC North teams at the top, man?
Everybody besides Cincinnati. Cincinnati's in the middle. But
Yeah,
Tampa,
man. Like, what's the
yeah.
deal with that? Like, why you
I
want
guess
us to have the toughest schedule and we like the toughest division? That's messed up, man. That's messed up.
I didn't
That's
put two and two
dirty.
together. Like right when you was getting ready to say, I'm like, wait, that don't look right. I'm like, wait, they all in the same.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. See, I put this together like really, really quick, right? So I really
hmm
didn't look at it like that for real, but that's kind of messed up, man. They got all the NFC
hmm
North teams on there. But I digress, man. But looking at it, you might see three teams from the AFC North in the playoffs, with
Yeah.
Cleveland, with Baltimore, and Pittsburgh in there. Cincinnati, I'm not
I
sure.
was gonna say with disrespect.
I mean, we just talking about the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cincinnati probably gonna be in there. I don't think Pittsburgh will be in there,
Yeah. It's all gonna
but
come
it's
down
gonna
to
be tough.
quarterback play.
It's gonna be tough, man.
It's
Because
gonna be a good division next year for sure.
even though they got rid of Pickett, I think Russell Wilson has something to prove.
Yeah. They got
And I
better in the
mean,
quarterback room for sure. Like they didn't get worse. They got better, like
yeah,
substantially.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I was just saying it's gonna be tough because they got a tough schedule, but they got a good defense, man. They got a really good defense in Pittsburgh. So,
Yep.
but the team that has no excuse on this list is the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh
They
man, you ain't got
way at the bottom.
man, bro. That's a whole discussion right there. Like because man, you already loaded on offense. You secured your quarterback position, and you've continued to improve on defense. They haven't really lost too many people. Like they've gotten better, and especially in a division like the NFC South, where it's up for grabs between them, the Saints, and then Tampa. I think like they have a legit shot if they actually put the pieces together. First year head coach, still a talented roster nonetheless. I think that's definitely a team I agree with you that has no excuse to try to make a run.
Yeah, they got all the talent, dog. They got all the talent you can think of, man. I mean, you
hmm
got Kyle Pitts. I mean, you got a first round pick in Phoenix that you're gonna build around. You got
hmm
Bijan. You got some defensive
You
backs
got
that are really good, including Terrell. So I mean, you
Jesse
got a
Bates.
whole
Yep.
lot to build around, man. And Drake London too. I can't forget about him. He's really good
And
as well.
Bijan. Yep.
Yep. So it was a win-win. LA got the Super Bowl, Detroit got the Capital. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true. I
yeah,
mean, I
I
wouldn't
mean
argue
that's
with
true.
that. That's actually a good
That's
point.
true. Yeah, that's true. I can't argue with that, man. But yeah, man, that's just some strength of schedule because I think the schedule just got released today. So,
If I'm
but
not mistaken.
yeah, but that was something that caught my attention, man. But Atlanta has no playing games, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. They gotta win some games. But let's get into this next topic, man. This
hmm
is near and dear to your heart. But I want to hear what you think about it,
Oh,
man.
what you got?
What you do? Come on, man. You gonna like it. You gonna like it, man.
What you
In
got?
fact, in fact, you might love it so much that you
Mm,
might hope he comes back and play. This
mm.
person,
Oh yeah. I already know where
we
this is
talking
going.
about Tom Brady, man. We talking
Oh
about Tom
man.
Brady. Tom Brady is going to be making his broadcasting debut this season.
Yeah.
Signed a mega deal with Fox.
Dude, like insane.
Way more money than he made playing, which is the secret for you people out there who question why he wins all the time. What? He takes less. That's
That's
why.
what, yeah.
That's why it
Always.
works. It works. You
Mm-hmm.
take a little less, you get more championships
Yep.
because you can add more talent. Okay,
It's
it's
true.
cool to make all the money, right? It's
Yeah, it ain't
cool.
cool if you
I
don't
get it.
win.
I get it. I get it. But you see what happened with Patrick Mahomes? They restructured that deal. Now they
Mm-hmm.
about to get a three-peat. Simple as that, dog. Aaron Rodgers wanted all that money. They went what 15-1, bounced
And
out the
didn't win.
playoffs. Why? They ain't
Mm-hmm.
have no defense. They start getting some injuries out of it. So
Yep.
that's the secret, man. That's how you win. You gotta take a little less sometimes. Yeah,
You have
people
to.
say, "Oh man," they're like, "Oh, Cam, it's easy for you to say that, man. You ain't got a whole lot of families to feed." I'm like, "Yo, if you thinking bigger picture, you're gonna make more money outside
You
anyway."
win Super. So you say, for instance, you restructure your contract. You take less. You take less. That opens up cap space for the team. Your general manager can make more moves in the draft. They can make more moves in free agency. They can make more trades to bulk up the roster and make it ready for a Super Bowl. So let's just say you go on a run and you win a couple Super Bowls. You're complaining about the money, but when you win Super Bowls, one, you get bonuses that they put in your contract, and not even just that, you're not including endorsement deals, sponsors, any of that crazy stuff that you can make even more money that's outside of your typical NFL contract.
Exactly.
So you have to look at it from a bigger picture. That's why Tom like always took pay cuts. That's how we were able to get Randy. That's how we like all these big names we had on offense and defense is because he took those pay cuts. He was still getting paid pretty well, not as
Yeah.
much as some other guys, but he
Yeah.
made it possible to be able to go on all those runs. All those times y'all got tired of seeing of us in the Super Bowl because he took a lot less money.
I agree.
Took a
I
selfless
agree, man.
approach.
Say golf didn't take the Brady money lesson. Hey, he did not. Although that's a hefty, hey, that's a hefty extension, bro. I ain't even
You got
gonna
to make
lie
it
to
work.
you. That is hefty, but hey, that's just the market, man. And he played his tail off. So I ain't gonna
Yeah,
argue with it.
he earned
I ain't
it.
gonna
Like
argue with it.
he earned it. I agree. I just hope that they're able to manage cap right and be able to build around him and be able to win. Because I think
Yeah,
he's going to
but
get you over the top. But
yeah, I agree. But like I said,
yeah,
let's get to Tom Brady broadcasting games. How you feel about it?
I don't know how to feel about that honestly. Because we hear Tom talk all the time, but I don't. You don't ever hear Tom talk football a lot. Like talk about being in the game and all the memories and stuff. But I've never heard him like broadcast a game. If Tony Romo can do it, which Tony Romo's awesome. If you guys don't listen to Tony Romo's like on his game. Like maybe not the greatest career from a winning perspective, but dude, he's a freaking winner in that booth. And
Mhm.
I think Tom Brady could be really good too, man. If he can bring that personality and his expertise and his experience, I think he'll do really well. Now, do I think it'll merit like that much money? Probably not. But at the end of the day, like I think he's gonna do really well. I would love to see like two guys like that together. That would be insane. Two guys like that that had play. Oh my gosh, that'd be like. But I think Tom's with NBC and Tony Romo's with Fox, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, I'm interested to see how it's gonna go. I think he'll do well, but I'm kind of having an open perspective. It's definitely gonna be different. Seeing him broadcast, it was the same thing when Drew Brees called games for that 1 year or whatever. It was really weird.
Yeah, man. So I'm on the fence about it, man. I don't really know because one thing when I was growing up that I liked about the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady rivalry
Mm-hmm.
was that Peyton Manning he had a personality to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really why I wanted him to win more so than Tom Brady is because he had a personality to him. And Tom Brady really didn't have the personality. Like he could win and he could play and he looked real good, right? But he wasn't necessarily funny and had a personality like Peyton Manning, right? So
Hmm.
I want to see how this translates to TV
Yeah.
because I don't really know. Now, I think they gave him a bunch of money and hey, they're gonna let him sink or swim. They're gonna let him figure it out because it's an
Hmm.
investment. It is. So, but I don't know. We'll see. Because I didn't think Tony Romo was gonna be that good, and he got like
He's he
he got
surprised me,
hella
man.
image. He
And he
got
be
hella
calling
image.
plays and everything, bro. Like he's like, oh, they're in the I formation. Oh, they're probably gonna run power to the right, power to the. Oh man, they're gonna go play action. Maybe throw a post or a straight, go down the field. Next thing you know, they're running the.
Yeah, they'd be like, man, this is gonna be play action. You're like, oh,
They
there
going to
you
the right.
go.
Oh, yeah, I swear, bro.
I'm like, and I find his broadcasting style to be, you know, really even kill with
Hmm.
Jim Nance, right? I
Yeah,
think that's who he's
they
with a
balance
lot.
each other out. They balance each other
Yeah,
really well.
yeah,
Because Tony
yeah,
Romo
kind
is
of
kind
like
of charismatic. I find Tony's charismatic, but he knows what he's talking about. And Jim Nance is kind of there to help balance everything out, just like that regular broadcaster feel, if that makes sense.
yeah, kind of like John Madden and Al Michaels,
Yeah.
how even kill that was, how one person really didn't outtalk the other person, but it was
Hmm.
smooth. Like you
Yep.
really enjoyed the whole show, the whole game, right? So, and even before my time, Pat Summerall and John Madden were like really good too. Like
Yeah.
if any of you guys want to go back and watch kind of the old Super Bowls that him and Pat Summerall and John Madden called, dude, I'm telling you, chef's kiss, man, chef's kiss, like perfect, man. So I mean, man, they both had iconic voices though. Like that's what's crazy
Yeah.
about
I agree. John
it.
Madden's voice, like you could hit, like I hear his voice in my sleep, bro. We played Madden so much as kids, like it's
Yeah,
ridiculous, bro.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like I said, speaking of Madden, I just restarted my Madden '06 franchise.
oh
I did it again.
man.
Let's
Let's
see.
see.
What's
Mahomes should get him one more Super Bowl and retire and go into broadcasting. They're paying that much money. Switch to TV before you get CT. I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, you could take the
I
Patrick
get
Willis
it.
or like the Luke Kuechly approach, but I think Mahomes has kind of got that Tom Brady competitiveness in him. I think he wants to be like that guy. The fact that those teams passed on him, maybe he didn't fall obviously to the seventh round like Brady did, but those teams passed on him, and I think he's kind of always held on to that, and that's just why he plays with so much passion, and he's just a freaking baller, bro. I think like I don't see it happening. I don't think he's gonna go early. I think he wants to surpass Tom, and at this rate, you never know, bro.
Nah, man, I agree. I think he's in it for the long haul, man.
Hmm.
I think he's in it for the long haul. I think he's gonna stick it to all those teams that that passed up on him and continue to beat
Hmm.
people. You know,
Yep.
I think this season you might see a lot of turnovers from him because I feel like he really wants this three-peat. It's something
Oh
that
yeah.
hasn't it's something that hasn't happened in the Super Bowl era. It happened when the Packers won three in a row. But
Hmm.
technically they only got two Super Bowls in a row. But if you're talking NFL championships, they definitely got three in a row, right? But
Yep.
it's something that hasn't happened. So it's also important for them to do that, and etch his name because I feel like he's on a Hall of Fame, if not already a Hall of Famer. Getting a three-peat
He's
is something that
there. That dynasty is very similar to the dynasty we saw 20 years ago. Just the way they dominate and they just run through everybody in the regular season and playoffs. They're very similar to those Patriots teams won in the early 2000s and even like in the mid 2010s. Like they're definitely resembling that. And at this rate, dude, he's gonna blow every. If he stays healthy, and they can continue to build around him the way they have, he'll catch Tom. But he's not even. Patrick Mahomes isn't even 30 years old. That's the crazy thing. He's not
yeah,
even 30 yet. That's the
yeah,
crazy thing. Now the AFC is
yeah,
getting really better. Don't get me wrong, the AFC is going to get even tougher. But man, me and you can vouch for it. We picked against Kansas City since week 1. We picked against them
Yep.
from week 1 all the way into the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. And what did they do, Cam? What did they do?
They killed my Ravens. That's what they did.
They proved us wrong.
That's what they did.
We got that first pick back in we picked Detroit to beat them week 1 and they beat them. And they kept like teetering. They were really good and then they were somewhat good. And we think, man, they're gonna get into the playoffs. Man, Miami's gonna give them the nope. Oh man, they're gonna go through Baltimore. They go through Baltimore, like you just said, and they get to the Super Bowl. And San Francisco had the game at one point. The Kansas City, just like the Patriots, found the way to win. That's what makes him different than all these other guys, man. He can make plays that a lot of other guys can't. He's gonna put the team on his back, and he's gonna do everything in his power to get that ball in the end zone and win them that game.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, every Super Bowl he's won in, they've literally been losing.
Comeback. Yeah. Like, we thought Andrew Luck was the man to the fourth quarter comeback, but I think Patrick Mahomes might have that title right now, bro.
Nah, man. Nah, dude. I'm telling you. Like, dude, every Super Bowl they're in, he literally got to drag his team out of losing. I mean, everyone except for the one with the Buccaneers. But I mean, it was a lot going on that season, so I don't really fault anybody. Like any league, any sports league that was going through that COVID stuff, man.
That was a lot. That was too much going on.
Yeah, you know, like even you 2 days away from the game and people getting, you know, sent home because they got COVID, you know, that'll mess up your whole game plan and mess up everything. So like I don't really hold that Super Bowl in that much regard because, you know, it wasn't really even. It wasn't. You know, Tom Brady was just good and the Bucks was lucky because they didn't get nobody sick. Nobody was sick in my opinion. So, you know, any sports league, you know, and me being, like I said, not a basketball, but I'm a Lakers fan. So the bubble, I like it. It's a cool championship to have, but not even.
It's kind of
not even.
It's got like an asterisk next to it, pretty much.
Yeah, anything. It's like I don't know, man. I just think that season alone was just rough for everybody. But at the same time, man, it counts. It counts just like anything else, you know. But do y'all know where y'all can get more content? Do y'all? I'll tell y'all, man. I'll tell y'all where y'all can get more content, man. As soon as I find it. College Football Dogs. Check it out.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College?
Yeah, man. How you like that segue, man? How you like that segue? I told you. I told you I was playing. Look, I told you I was doing it. I told you I got it. I told you, man.
We rocking and rolling, baby.
Nah, man, I told you. I told you, man. I've been playing with this whole StreamYard thing like all night. You know,
dude, straight flighting, bro.
I'm telling you, dog. Like we can't discuss what was going on all night, but I can tell you, I was on the red-eye flight. Yeah, but nah, man. College Football Dogs, man, we are appreciative of this opportunity, man. But a whole lot of work goes into this whole organization. So, like I said, support us, support them, man. Support the podcast, man. A lot of good editors, a lot of good writers, man. A lot of good podcasts on this whole network, man. So it's important, man. Support them. It'll be a link in our description, man, to their website,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube pages, all of that. So we are excited to be a part of this journey with them. And hey, we excited, man. So give them all the support that you give us because we are them and they are us. Got it. All right. So let's get into this last thing before we get into our top 5 segment, man. So
What you got?
everybody who's watching, we appreciate it, man. But y'all gotta stay tuned, man. You gotta stay tuned for the top 5 segment, man. It's
That's our
always important,
specialty.
man. Always, it's always, man. Like I said, we wanted to get it back into what we were doing when we first started, man, and we had a whole bunch of top 5 segments. In fact, we ran out. So we had to keep going, man. But I digress, man. I've been talking too much. But let's get into this. Let's get into this last segment, man. So I don't know if you guys have been watching, Twitter or whatever, or following the news clippings, but the Jacksonville Jaguars just agreed to a new stadium project. So it's important, man. So as I pull up the information that I pulled up, courtesy of NFL.com. So this stadium, man, is supposed to be really, really state of the art, man. One thing that I am looking forward to is I want to look at the 30-year agreement. That's what I really want to look at, man. Because if you go back in time, you know that the Jaguars were one of those teams that were going to leave, you know? So they were on the chopping block, around the time the St. Louis Rams left St. Louis. And, it was talks that this team would go to London, which I don't think would work. I don't think it would work. Nah, not really. But the 30-year agreement, lets me know that Jacksonville they're entrenched in that state or that city for that matter. And I think it's good, man. I personally like it. I think the increased space for the football operations, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's cool. And the fact that they're adding wider concourses allows for more people to visit, sell out the stadium and enjoy it. It doesn't have to just be a football stadium. It could be a concert. You could have prom there. You could do a whole lot of things that you could do with this, with this stadium plan. So I'm interested to get your take on it, man. What you think about the renderings? Like, does it look cool, futuristic? What you thinking?
I think it does. It gives me like Las Vegas Raiders stadium vibes, kind of just very futuristic, high tech. That's what it's making me think. It's a good sign though, because it shows that Jacksonville is, like you said, entrenched with the Jaguars. I think they're in a good place. Obviously, last season didn't go exactly how we expected, nor a lot of other people. But dude, I think they're in a really good place. They're in a lot better of a place than they were 20 years ago when we had guys like David Garrard and Byron Leftwich. We love those guys and we love those teams, but the team wasn't really held in as high of regard, I feel like, is now. Like, they've come a long way. Even when Doug Marrone was there, made it to an AFC Championship game, really helped put the team back on the map. And now that Doug Peterson's there, he has his guy in Trevor Lawrence. They're building that team from the ground up, man. They're building really well and they're winning. And I expect them to get back to winning this year. I don't know if they're going to win that division, but I definitely think that they're moving in the right direction. And I think them doing this shows that, one, the city is very supportive of them. And it just seems that they're very serious about this, and they want to win championships, and they want to be relevant, and they want to be the team to beat in the AFC and Florida, and just as a whole. I think the stadium looks really cool. Interested to see what's going to look like once they're finally done building it, but definitely gave me like Vegas Raiders vibes. It's very futuristic, high tech. I mean, it's Florida, man. They're gonna go above and beyond for sure.
Yeah, nah, man. I agree, man. I thought the Raiders Stadium was freaking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I didn't like the fact that they left Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you got a chance to get a new stadium, and I think that's one of the most important things.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most important things for NFL franchise, man. And Al Davis was trying to get a stadium everywhere. He was trying to get a stadium in Oakland when he bought the team.
Yep.
So that's why he moved to LA, thinking he would get a
Yep.
stadium there. And it's hard to sell out that Coliseum, man. Like the only team that does that is USC. That's it. Ain't no
Yep.
NFL team sell it out. They just can't. They've tried it multiple times. So the fact that they were able to get a new stadium, man, in Las Vegas was really cool, man. And it turned out to be really a good spot. So but it is, like I said, I like the stadium. I want to see how it looks when it's built.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it's good, man. I'm more worried about teams moving. So the fact that this is a 30-year agreement lets me understand
That's
that
a big deal.
not only are they entrenched, the Khan family is invested because $1.5 billion for a plan is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of cheese. And they got a lot of cheese anyway. But guess what? They want to stay. So I
True.
appreciate them for getting that thing. So you know what time it is, man. You know
Top
what time it is.
five.
It's time for the top 5 segment, man. Rototape. Rototape. Source from us. That's the source. You come here, you get your top 5 segment from us. Don't
If you
worry
guys
about
don't
it.
know,
Ain't
bro,
worry.
top fives, top tens, that's our speciality since the beginning. So if y'all like that kind of stuff,
Hey,
you're in the right place.
man, I'm telling you, you're in the right place, man. So all right, you started off, man. You started off, man. So
Cool.
let me make sure I got all your stuff in here, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I got you. All right,
Cool.
let's go.
So
Top 5
today, guys,
NFL
our top
logos,
five. Yep.
dead or alive.
Yep. All time. So we could be going between like current throwbacks, even the furthest back down to the 50s. We're just going off of our favorite logos, just from like a nostalgic point of view. I would like to have done a uniform one, but I really like the logos because I feel like nowadays teams don't really have a whole lot of identity with their logos. It's just like a sticker, like they slapped it onto a lunchbox and just called it a day. Back in the day, it's like when you seen a logo, like you got a message from that logo. It's like you knew that this team was either really, really good or had a really good history, or maybe this team was just really, really bad and maybe not so much. So like we're very similar in being the same fan, but I know for sure we're gonna have a different perspective on this, especially how we did with the college football helmets. We had a much different perspective with that as well. But if we're gonna stop
Yeah.
at the top five, I'm actually gonna put mine in order. So with my fifth pick, might be a controversial pick, but I'm going with the Washington Redskins logo, man. Very iconic, rich tradition. I know there is a lot of drama and a lot of controversy behind it, but dude, that Redskins logo has a lot of history, man. Those teams back in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, like, were really good. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of the drama with Dan Snyder is really kind of overwhelmed and make us forget about all that. But there's a lot of rich history there. And that maroon and that gold, man, it just means something. I think of guys like John Riggins back in the day and Champ Bailey when he first got there and playing. Like, there's so
Hmm.
many of those Super Bowls they won. Like, there's so much rich history there. I think it's one of those logos that when you see it, you instantly know Redskins, Washington,
I
and you
agree.
know this is gonna be a game. Like, I think they have 3 or 4 Super Bowls in their history under that logo, man. So I mean, much
Yeah.
respect to the Redskins, man. Much respect to the Commanders. Maybe at some point they'll get that logo back, but for the time being, they don't. And I've got them at number 5, man.
All right, no, man, I can't argue with that, man. I enjoy it, man. I personally, I get what the argument is, but I mean, you got all kinds of teams that use the Native American head as a logo. Like, I mean, I get it. I get it. It sounds bad, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just can't really argue with it, man. It's perfect. It's a perfect logo. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I get the argument, but I just like it, man. I just don't like the
Hmm.
Washington football team commanders. I just don't really feel right. It don't. Like,
It
I
just
mean,
feels
I
like
grew
the
up
new
with the,
team and logo.
you
The
know,
new team and logo makes me think of like a UFL team. Just saying.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
been making
exactly.
giving me XFL vibes, and no disrespect. Like I love that they got new ownership and they're trying to make a new identity and start fresh. That's awesome. But I will tell you that, like, man, I feel like the media is kind of blown out of proportion a little bit, especially once I start really researching and reading. Dude, if they were to ever go back to that, which the owner already kind of said he's not really open to doing that, dude, you would get such a flood in for that organization. Like, they would get so much support. I don't feel like they would get as much pushback as what the media wants to paint. But for the time being, the Commanders, but man, much respect to the Redskins logo, man. I've got them at number 5.
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I got you on here.
So number 4 is another very iconic logo. Now, a lot of you younger people watching, you might not even know this logo because before 2002, well, since 2002, this logo hasn't even been in existence anymore. Every once in a while, you see flashes of the colors and things like that paying homage via the Tennessee Titans. Man, let's go with the old school Houston Oilers logo, man. The color scheme, man, that powder blue with the red, iconic, bro. So many teams have tried to
Iconic.
recreate this color scheme. Like the University of Houston got a bunch of flack from the Titans recently because they pretty much called them out saying like, "Hey, your jerseys and everything are showing too much similarities to this old scheme, and we own rights to this logo." Dude, I wish they would have never lost that team. Like, I love the Oilers. I love what they like. Just when I see the Oilers logo, I think of Warren Moon. I think of Earl Campbell. I think of so many like legends that wore that helmet, wore that logo. The Oilers were
Bum
awesome. And
Phillips.
Bum Phillips, bro, telling you that,
Yeah.
and I don't know, bro. The colors were just awesome, and I just like it because it's just one of those logos, man, that just has its own identity. It doesn't blend into all of the rest of these other ones. There's just so much rich history there, so many great players. The red and the blue kind of giving me a little bit Ole Miss vibes, kind of like how University of Houston had used those colors. But man, an iconic logo nonetheless. And I would love to see the NFL show it more, whether via through the Tennessee Titans or maybe that the Texans could get. I don't know, but I would love to see it a lot more. I love this logo at number 4.
All right. No, no, no. I get that. I get that. I like it. I like it, man. I can't argue with it. Love You Blues are awesome, man. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Love them. Yep.
Cool. So at number 3, it's another really cool logo. An expansion team at the time they came into the league. They weren't an original NFL team. We're going with the old school Seattle Seahawks logo, man. When I see this logo, I think Steve Largent, that royal blue with that bright green. Just, I don't know, bro. It's just so bold. It just popped out there. They'd rock
Yeah,
the old
man.
school.
No,
Huh?
I got you now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
No,
Keep
you're
going.
good. Every time I
Keep
think of
going.
that, they have the silver helmet with the logo, the blue jersey with the green letters. There we go, guys. Very awesome logo. Like, just logos back in the days look so cool, just so detailed. The blue with the green, like, I love it so much. I wish they've rocked the throwbacks recently in the last few
Yeah.
years. So this isn't an era before Seattle was really, really relevant. They weren't horrible, but they just couldn't really ever get far. They had good players, but they didn't start making that run until they had finally changed that logo. And when you had guys like Matt Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander, Bobby Ingram, guys like that, back in that era. But this era, bro, I just love the logo. I think it really shows who they are and gives it just its own identity, its own not perseverance, just its own perspective. I just feel like logos back then look a lot better, and I'd much rather this one than their current logo.
All right, no, I feel you. I feel you. I like the Seahawks anyway, man. I actually like their throwback more so. I like their modern day twist to this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the one they had last year was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect. It was almost perfect, man. Like I said, but I like it. I like it, man. I can't argue with that one.
Cool. So, with my number two, it's another expansion team from the late '90s. You guys knew they had a couple expansion teams before they did the
Yeah,
last of them in the early 2000s,
yeah.
man. I'm going with the old school
This one.
Jacksonville Jaguars, man. This logo is perfect.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
the Jaguars logo now. This logo is so
yeah,
perfect. It
yeah,
doesn't look deformed or anything. It's well designed. The
yeah,
colors flow really good together. Bro, I love their jersey and helmet combos in this era. When I see that helmet,
yeah.
I think that logo, I think about guys like Tom Coughlin and Mark Brunell and Fred Taylor and
Brad
Jimmy
Taylor. Yep,
Smith,
yep,
Rashawn Mathis.
yep.
Man, like man, there's so many Marcus Stroud, like so many really good people had this logo, man. That I do like where Jacksonville is at now as an organization, but I would love if they would move back to that. I understand it's a new era, but dude, these logos were so
Yeah,
like perfect. Like the jerseys, the helmets, the logo was just so well designed and just stood out on its own compared to the rest of the league. I've got them at number two.
all right, man. So yeah, man, I like it, man. That bro, that those '90s Jaguars, man, like
Mm-hmm.
those were some good teams, bro. And you forgot Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell, bro. They was clowning, dog.
I said Jimmy Smith.
You said Jimmy Smith? Okay,
I
all
didn't
right,
say
cool, cool.
McCardell, but I said Jimmy Smith.
Bro, you can't forget about McCardell, bro. He was good. He was good, man.
Mm-hmm.
McCardell was nice, man. Nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Keenan McCardell, man. But let's see. Who's your number one, man? Hold up
Number one, man.
before you get into it,
What you got?
man. I gotta get your stuff, man. Number one. How you
Number
like that?
one.
How you like
This
that?
logo, I like it. This logo, dude, I've loved this logo as long as I've been watching football. I think for this organization, this logo is the best version of this logo. I think it just looks awesome. Like it doesn't look too overdone like it does nowadays, and it doesn't look too basic like it did back in the 60s and 70s. I feel like this variation of the logo looks awesome, man. I'm talking about the Miami Dolphins logo from the late 90s to early 2000s. Dude, like this logo is just clean. It's crisp.
It's
It does,
perfect.
nowadays the dolphin looks weird, and back in the day it looked like a watercolor painting. Like this one just looks really cool, man. Like
He
when I
said it
see
look
this,
weird.
it does look weird. And then back in the day it looked like a watercolor painting. It just didn't have a whole lot
Yeah,
of sauce to it. This one just like
I
I don't
agree.
know, man. I think of those cool jerseys with the freaking double behind the letters. Uh, I think of guys like Ricky Williams and freaking Ronnie Brown and freaking Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor and Nick Saban as coach, and maybe not the greatest quarterback play. I think of like guys like Chad Pennington and yeah, there you go. Like this logo is so cool because the Miami Dolphins already had a really good color scheme, and I really wish they would go back to the style of jerseys and uniforms they had with this logo. It just screams Miami Dolphins. Like the other ones
Yeah.
just look like an AI generated image, and I don't want to disrespect AI because I really don't even like the logo nowadays. I think it's trash. I think it's probably one of the worst logos in the. If I had to make a top five worst, they're going to be in the top five worst. But
Yeah.
just as long as I've been watching football and playing Madden and playing games and just watching, this logo has always been my favorite. I think it just epitomizes what the Miami Dolphins should be, and I've got it number one, man.
Nah, man, I can't argue with your list. I like it, man. I like the Oilers. That's perfect. I like the Jaguars. That's perfect. My Dolphins, I definitely like it. I hate their concept now.
I
That is
agree.
some
It's
that is
horrible.
some horrible media marketing. That's
That's some
horrible.
hot dog water, bro.
Yeah, that is nasty. It's ugly to me. The whole
Hmm.
concept. Even a stadium is ugly to me. I
Maybe
don't
we
even
need to do
like
a
their
top five
stadium.
worst, bro. Maybe we need to do a
Yeah,
top five worst for sure.
yeah, man. Because I got a couple of them. Like,
Oh,
what
me
is
too.
this? What is this? You
What'd
know,
you pay to
like
do
for
this?
real. For real,
Look at
man.
this.
Like this, nah, man. But
Look
but
at
nah,
it.
but
Look at it.
yeah. But the Seahawks, I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely love the Dolphins, and I definitely love the Redskins. You can't argue with that, man. You
Mm-hmm.
can't argue with it, man. So I like it. I can't argue with your list, man. But now
Let's get it.
time for my list, man. Time for my list, man. So
Okay.
my
let's
list
roll.
is gonna be simple. It's not that. I'm not the color person because I'm actually colorblind a little bit. So you're gonna have to help me out if I say that a color is purple and it might be blue. That's where my scope is. It's wrong there, right? Certain colors
I
look
got you.
the
I
same,
got you.
right? But I was in the military, and you know what what test that I passed? I passed that red
Hmm.
and green test. I know them
Heck
colors.
yeah.
I know them. I know them colors. So that's where I'm starting right here, man. I'm
What's
starting
that?
with this. The Atlanta Falcons, all of them.
Which one?
I like all
All
their
of them?
logos. Every
Okay.
single one of them. I don't know what it is about the bird, but I like the bird, dog. I like it. I
Mm-hmm.
liked it when Dion had it on his helmet. I liked it when Vic had it on his helmet. And I liked it when Matt Ryan in this new era had it on there. But you know who was first? Michael Vick was first under this present day logo. But
Mm-hmm.
that man, when he had that on, oh my God, it was so sick, dog. With the helmet, the jersey concept, man, and then he had the
Mm-hmm.
shoes too. Oh man, I had to get me some of those while I was playing Pee Wee, and I enjoyed every minute of it. But you know what I realized quick? It's not the shoes, man. Not the shoes. It's not the shoes, bro. So that's what happened, man.
I dig
I
it.
realized that you can't, pretend to be your star player in his shoes and think that they're gonna translate to you, you know. Like I said, I'll tell you a
Basketball
quick
reference.
story.
It's not Space Jam.
Man. I tripped and fell. I was running full speed out of Walmart thinking I was Michael Vick, right? Took out. Lady coming out of Walmart, right?
Oh gosh.
Seeing me trip and almost bust my face.
Oh
And she
gosh.
looked at me with a look like you need to stop. And she asked me, she said, "You okay?" I'm like, not really. But all right, so my next, it's not in any order, man, but my next logo that I really like in my top 5, man, is 49ers, man.
Yeah,
I
I
love
dig
it.
it.
I love it. This is their 90s kind of logo. It's different than it is
Mm-hmm.
now. But this is more in the Steve Young era of the 49ers. I really enjoy it, man. When they switch to it, it brings me back to Steve Young. It brings me back to older Jerry Rice, that new era with Terrell Owens,
Ooh, Jeff
Patrick
Garcia.
Willis. Yeah, or Jeff Garcia. Jeff was good, man. We can get into that in another show. But I like Jeff Garcia a lot, man. That this logo reminds me of that. Patrick Willis, man. Even when they got was it Jim Harbaugh was there? Yeah, Jim Harbaugh was there. They
Yeah.
still had the same logo. So just it's a really cool logo. I really like it, man. I enjoyed playing Madden, and I thought it was sick, man. The color combos was nice, man. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can't go wrong with it, man.
Cool.
Can't go wrong with it, man. So my next one, man, is gonna be the Detroit Lions of today.
Okay. Okay.
I like it because it's smooth,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually more detailed than their previous logo. Because if you remember, the previous logo was just
It
a
was just
line.
an outline. Yeah, it was just an outline.
You know what I'm saying? But now you get the whole veins on the neck and everything. It looks really, it looks really vicious. Like all right, man, now I can take the lion seriously. It's not just a cat. This is a lion. I really like this. I'm scared now. I'm scared. Like I don't,
Hmm.
this is one that roars. This isn't, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like this. I like this one a lot. So
Hmm.
I
I
like, I
dig it,
like,
man.
I like this new one a lot, man. It's really, really, really cool, man. So
Dope.
that's one of my favorites. And I like when they debuted it too. How they had Matt Stafford, and then
Hmm.
they had and Dominican Sue at the time. They came out in the gear. They came out in the gear, and that was pretty cool because it just kind of like, hey, this is a new era of Lions. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's pretty cool, man. I like their concepts, man. So you can never
Hmm.
go wrong with this one, man. So my next one is gonna surprise you. It's gonna
What you
surprise
got?
you. But I love this logo, man. I
Hey,
I
hey, show some
love
love. Show some love, bro. At least you didn't
I
pick Pat the
love
Patriot.
yeah, man. Not I don't like the one now. This is the Drew Bledsoe Curtis Martin
Hmm.
era.
Yeah,
I
it's got
really
more of
like
that royal blue.
yeah. That made me feel
Hmm.
like a real American when I seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like I like it, man. It was really cool. Aside from that, it was really cool, man. I like just the concept of it, man. Like when you see him on TV, man, before they switched to this new one, like in the 2000s, I want to say.
Early
Uh,
2000s.
yeah, it was cool, man. I like when they had the Patriots logo on the
Oh,
shoulder
dude,
pad.
I
That
love them
was
jerseys, bro. Hmm.
chef's kiss, man. So I really like it, man. That's one of my favorite logos ever, man. So when they throw back to that uniform, I don't like the one before this though. The man, I don't like the
No,
man
Pat.
with the
That's what I'm saying.
football.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad you didn't pick Pat the Patriot because that's definitely like a more acquired taste. Like I don't mind it, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
much. Now I
Nah,
like the
bro.
jerseys for that era, like the white and red. The jerseys are sick, but the helmet. I mean, the helmet
Yeah,
logo's alright.
it's okay. It's okay. It reminds me of
Oh
Jim
man.
Plunkett. Reminds me of Jim Plunkett. And how good was he with y'all? Not very good. Not very good. Not very good. So that's what it reminds me of. Just a nasty era of Patriots football, man. A Patriots era of football that I actually liked because they weren't that good.
The Jack Hanna days.
Right. Another dude he went to Alabama too. Did he know that?
He was a
I had to
dog
look
too,
that up.
bro.
Yeah, I had to look that up, man. So, but yeah, man. But Patriots logo, 90s when they got to the Super Bowl with Green Bay, perfect Super Bowl, perfect.
Hmm.
So, my last one, gotta run my one, number one, man. So number one on my list, man. Baltimore Ravens, baby. Perfect logo, whatever, doesn't matter. It's the perfect logo in my opinion, man. I like how they incorporated, the bee on the side of the bird. I also like when they put the city of Maryland, their city crest inside the logo as well. It fits, man. It works. I love it. I love their jersey concepts too, especially when they go purple. When they go to purple helmets, man, with the black on black dog. Oh my god, that's sick. At home for a home game, nasty, bro, nasty. I love it. So, but yeah, man, that's my list, man. What you think? Did I hit or miss?
I
What?
like it. I mean, you took a more modern approach, which I really wasn't expecting because I know me and you both really like 80s and 90s like style, especially with the jersey concepts and the colors and the logos. So I do respect it. I just definitely thought you were going old school, but I do like it. Like I can't argue with any of the logos. I kind of like
Well,
the
you
Ravens.
took
Like,
all of mine. You
oh, they
literally took.
definitely had. Hey, if
You
we were
took
doing a
all.
top 10, if we would have had top 10, I would have had even more really good picks. Like you even go back to like the throwback Jets with the airplane, the old school Denver Broncos with the D, the
Yeah,
freaking Eagles. The old you could either go with the green eagle or the white with the green outline. Like
yeah, that was
definitely
close.
had.
That was close.
That's what I'm
That was
saying. They had
close.
plenty. I like the old school Chargers with the freaking horse in the background. That one's really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
but I do like it though. I do. But I would say about Baltimore, I like their like early logos. where it wasn't even just necessarily the bird, but it had like that little it was like that little design that had like the feathers and had like a bee or something coming out of the middle. Like I like
Yeah,
those are pretty dope too.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
And
But that's
Baltimore's
why
got
I
really
like them
good
all.
feathers too. So yeah.
That's why I like them all. I like them all, man. I like whatever the Ravens do. They throw out there. I like it, man. Look, I'm biased, man, but so what? It's my favorite team. That's my favorite logo. All my favorite players are damn near on the team. So, but man, this was a cool list, man. It was cool,
Mm-hmm.
fun, man. We're gonna bring this back as far as like our ending segment, man. As far as us talking or whatever, man. But as we come to the end of today's program, man, we have we have to throw this out there, man. We have to throw this out there. If you haven't followed all of our social media platforms, man, please do. Please do, man. Help
Mm-hmm.
us grow, man. Help us grow. Get some more content, man. We working on our store, man. So gonna have that out soon, man. But if you're looking at the bottom of the thing, man, follow us on all of them. X, Instagram, Twitch, whatever you get to consume your social media fix, do all of it, man. We are everywhere, man. And if you are an audio person, man, we usually upload right after the show goes live. So it'll probably be on there the next day. So that's Spotify Music, that's Apple Podcasts, that's everywhere. So you gotta get us, gotta like us, man. I'm telling you, we love football, man. So especially when we get into the season, man. So before we get up out of here, man, anything you gotta say, man?
Yeah, man. If anybody subscribe to us on YouTube or anything like that, thank you guys so much. If you guys are watching on that platform, don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss any of our content. But you guys can watch us via YouTube. But shout out to College Football Dogs, man. They gave us a really great opportunity to reach even more people on an even bigger scale. Got a whole bunch of big, crazy things happening, man. Like, you guys are going to be blown away once you start finding out through the news and news feed. Definitely, guys, if you love football content, check out College Football Dogs, Dogs TV, Pro Football Dogs, all that good stuff. Got a bunch of really good content creators there, as well as a bunch of really cool articles, too. A bunch of really talented writers. If you guys like reading articles, definitely check them out. Everything's up to date. Always have content coming out steady. But what you got?
Nah, man. I'm just letting you know, man. That's how fast it be out there, man. They be boom, boom, boom. Articles
Yep.
be out there, man. So, but yeah, man. I couldn't add anything better to that, man. But keep a lookout for our preseason breakdown, man. As we get closer to the season, we're gonna start breaking down college since that's the first one that starts, and then we're gonna get into the NFL, man. So, like I said, just stay tuned and follow, subscribe, whatever it is, y'all do it, and we're gonna keep delivering. So, but I'm Cam. This is Brandon. This is the Football Frame of Mind podcast. See ya.
Deuces.